No, when I was just, let's go back. When I was 14, I started babysitting people's kids. So I always loved kids, but I always told myself that I would never have children. And then when I was old, I had my first child. So then I'm like, okay, I have this one. I'm not having no more. I'm cool. Then I loved her. It became my little buddy. And 3 years later, had another child. So then I'm really thinking like, okay, I'm not going to have no more. I got to get married. So I did get married. It wasn't until their father, I got married to a pastor. I had always prayed and asked God, like, I want to have somebody that's in church. I didn't know he was going to be a pastor, but Dad went, he had 3 kids from a previous marriage, and then I had my 2 daughters, so I didn't want no more kids, period. And then my husband passed away. 5 months after my husband passed away, my youngest sister was murdered, and I got her 2 kids. So I went from 2 to 4 kids, like, literally overnight. And I'm talking about, I didn't know how I was going to take care of these kids. I knew that I had to pray to God. I knew God was going to take care of us, and he did just that. But let me tell you, I was, 27, a widow with 4 kids, and I was raising these kids by myself. That was a challenging job, and the youngest child was 2 months old, and my nephew was 3. So my daughter was, 5, and then I'm talking about them kids ran me ragged. So 11 months after that, I got my oldest sister's daughter, and Jesus, I'm 20, I was 28 by this time. Now I'm 28. I got 5 kids, and then I was pregnant with my 3rd biological child. And so these kids was bad as hell, y'all. I'm talking about bad, and everybody wanted to talk about these kids, but they weren't helping me. Like, what the hell did y'all expect to happen? I was 28 years old with 5 damn kids, and none of y'all was trying to help a sister. Like, okay, I give credit to some people. Like, as far as me going to court when I was trying to get my nieces and nephew, my aunt and her mother, she's an aunt-in-law, my aunt and her mother, they was coming to every court day, and her grandmother, who was like 80 years old, coming to every court day that I have. When I'm talking about when I had no family there, they was there. They are my family. My little cousin's mother, her grandmother, and great-grandmother. That was my circle right there, so I appreciate that. But they had lives too, so they would like babysit here and there. They couldn't do it all the time, of course, because they had lives, and then her kids was grown. So nobody had even time to try to babysit. But I'm like, dang, I got all these family members. Nobody was trying to offer to babysit. And these kids was driving me crazy. So I say after a year of me having it, probably wasn't even a year. I would say maybe 6 months. Oh, let me give credit to my dad. My dad did come once I had all these kids. He came from Chicago. My father's from Chicago. And he came and he stayed with me for like 4 months, maybe 3 or 4 months, to help me with the kids, because he seen like, hey, that's a job. And my dad has been known in the family, like, he always helped people with their kids. So what, better I did not to help his daughter. So he came and helped me. And I'm going to say this too. Dad, don't take it the hard way. My dad really wasn't in my life when I was growing up. Like, I would see him here and there. I knew who my father was because when I was younger, like 2, 3, he used to come and get me and take me to Chicago. He was married, and he had 1 son by the woman he was married to. So I would see my father here and there. But when I turned, the last time, I was like 14, 15. I seen my dad, and then after that, I didn't see him no more until I was 26, 25. So he was gone for a long period of time. So when he told me he would come help, I'm like, thank God. I forgive you for all the years you weren't there, because this is a hell of a job. But before my dad came, let me tell you, because my niece was confused. She was the oldest out of the kids. That story, I think, if you guys watch my new video, I just posted this about her Sweet 16. I would love for y'all to go watch it. Yes, it's the way of me promoting. Please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to LA The Life. I'll give you more of that story in that video. But